All right, welcome back, everybody. Anybody that's new here, thanks for joining me today. If you're not new here, you'll kind of recognize my surroundings. You might even hear something familiar. I couldn't stay away. I wanted to go back to the spillway. So the last time I was here, it was actually very flooded, and I mean like very, very flooded. So probably water was up at least 4 or 5 feet. So you guys do the math. Right now, it looks clear, and it's about 3-4 feet low again. So we're back to where it was. Means it concentrated some fish. I'm going to try a bunch of different techniques today. I might even film a couple different videos because I have a bunch of different options right now. Right now I'm actually going to go collect some live bait from the area, because you can do that. Anybody that's curious, yes, you can collect crayfish from the area you're fishing and fish them. You just can't transport anything. So that's why I bring my bucket and net every day. But I'm going to go try to get some of those, and then we'll get started with something. I'm pretty sure I'll start throwing spinners right away. I usually reserve my live bait for the last option, so stay tuned. Okay, so the water's low enough that I think I'm going to start with this jerkbait. These work pretty good in dirty stained water. That's why I like this gold color. These are the Matsuo minnows. It's from Matsuo America. Hey Matsuo, you want to hit me up? I use thousands of your lures a year. Anyways, so like I was saying before, I'm going to start with this jerkbait. The water might not be cold enough yet, but we'll see. And I'm running a 12-pound fluoro, well, not fluoro, but it's P-line, so it's like fluoro clear leader to my braid. It's a 8-pound braid, but I have a 12-pound leader just so I'm not getting bit off right away. I might still lose the lure, but we'll see. Should be pretty good. If not, I'll have to switch back to my spinner tactics. Oh, and I'm running my 7.2 medium light fast action. This is technically my walleye rod, but it works really good for jerk baits. This is Tuned Up Customs. It's the Apex Elite. I'll link them in the description too. I was working it on the surface and the smallmouth came up and smacked it. That was kind of cool. It was actually tangled a little bit, but that don't matter. They'll still bite it. Okay, that's one. So the reason I'm running this is, I don't know if you can tell from here, it's super shallow now. Go figure, the last time I was here, you couldn't see the bottom. These things will run really shallow if you work them really slow. So they work really good in river and creek scenarios. Like I said, I'll link them below so you guys can pick up some yourself. I always try to link everything below. If you guys are at it, pick up some merch. It'll help the channel out greatly. Another one. Oh, self-release. Love this bait. I got like a school of them in front of me. Can't leave it alone. Ooh, there's a big one. I just saw like a 14. Schools. Tell your bigger brother to bite. Well, I might have asked for that one. Okay, so I kind of asked for that because I was saying something about my 12-pound test not being able to be bit off so easily. And of course, it was, I don't think it was easily bit off, but the big thing that happened was I got a really, really hard hit. So it was one of two things. It was a really big smallmouth or it was a really big northern. And when it hit, the fish instantly ran. So like I went to set the hook and I felt it. I had my drag set appropriately, surprisingly today. And when it ran, it started screaming drag instantly, but I was pulling against it. So like, I know it's 12-pound test, but that shock in the line, I don't think it actually bit through it. I think it just popped it. And yeah, so now there's a fish swimming around with my Matsuo minnow. If you guys want to go down in the description below and buy a couple of those so I can get some more, you know, you guys help me, I help you. Obviously it works. Just do whatever you got to do to fish better stuff. My braid didn't break. It was the 12-pound leader, but that normally doesn't happen. So what I did is I always bring a spool of that 12-pound test with. So I tied up another leader, except now I'm going to throw this spinner, because what tends to happen with these guys is I can get a good hook set in them and not have to worry about them getting bit off. Hopefully I'm not eating my words again. So let's get back to it. Okay, so the jerkbait obviously works, but they ate mine and I only have one left. So I'm going to switch it up to this because I have 3 of these now. I bought more after losing all those ones, but these usually work down here pretty well for the bigger smallmouth. So we'll try that. Hopefully I don't lose it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so apparently the spinner's not working today. That, or I might have like already spooked them, because the jerkbait's pretty aggressive. That's the reason I go with it, is because I'm trying to get the aggressive fish first. And I was going to make a separate video here, but I'd much rather just try to get you guys some action here before I leave. And that's why I brought live bait. And it's going to be one of those things. So I'm going to try to use some crayfish again underneath a slip bobber. If you guys are new here, I like to fish down below this spillway with crayfish that I catch down here. It works really well because with the slip bobber, I can set it so that the crayfish are just off the bottom, so they can't crawl underneath crap. Because if you fish bottom, you can do that with crayfish, but good chances are they'll crawl underneath a rock and you're not getting your stuff back if they bury themselves. So I'm gonna fish with the slip bobber for a while. I also have night crawlers and a bottom rig all set up, ready to go. There might be some other big fish hiding in here because the water's so low, they just get stuck down here kind of thing, or they, you know, they come in here and stay because of the fresh water. But I don't know, keep your fingers crossed for me. Comment below if you like this kind of video where I throw in the towel, because that's what I'm doing. I know with a live bait I should catch some fish, so stay tuned.
Okay, so slip bobber, Gamakatsu hook. Ooh, I might actually have to retie this real quick. Give me a second. Okay, so that's a prime example. I check my line within like a foot or two of it every time before I use my bait setups. And sometimes this stuff gets really nipped up and you want to get, you know, I caught plenty of fish on it before I had to retie it, but you definitely want to check it out. So I'm going to use this and a live crayfish. One of these guys. Alright, this little guy's about to be food. Alright, let's go. Let's get some fish here. Fish. Big fish. Big smallie. He's trying to get me in the stuff over here. Come on. Right off the end of that tree. It's a decent looking one too. Look at the colors on that thing. Are you ready to come in? A decent little bronzy. Beautiful colors in that one.
Well, that's one. I knew it would work. It's one of those things, like by default, the crayfish will catch me some smallmouth below the spillway. Works every time. You just got to find out where they're sitting. That guy was sitting right on the end of the tree. But hopefully I can stick a couple more real quick here before I gotta go. I'd like to get some bigger ones. That was only like 14, 15 inches, but I mean, still nice for the river. One had it.
Come on. Catch me the fish. That was a bite. There we go. On! No, you stay out of there. He charged me. That's a nice smallmouth. Look at that thing. It's a beautiful fish. It's a new one too. Never been hooked.
There's another beautiful one. Pristine too. This guy's new down here. Never been hooked. Now I'm having some fun. That guy smacked it. I mean, my bobber jumped. I'm hoping you guys can see that on the GoPro. It's really hard to like convey. I wish I had somebody to film for me and stuff with a long lens, because like I know it's just a bobber thing, but like when the bobber bounces and then just starts cruising, there's something about it. It gets your heart going. So hopefully I can find a couple more bigger ones than that. That was like another 14, 15. So far it's good average, so let's get some more.
Are they all stacked up over there? Apparently it's shallower. Another fish, possibly. Yep. Oh. Pulled it out of his mouth. It would appear the stack of smallmouth down here is hanging out right at the end of the stick or the tree. Just had another bite. I wonder how many fish are there. I'm going to try to catch them all. There's one. Oh, that's a largemouth. Little largy. I try to catch the crayfish. It just kicked off on me. Got my bait back. Can I still hook him? He walked right back to me, so let's see if we can get him to catch me one more fish. Maybe out in front of it. Oh, apparently the log goes underneath the water right there. Now hopefully my bobber comes back to me. Alright, time to retie. Well, I'm feeding the fish today. There's a fish. Trying to eat it. Got him. Feels pretty good too. It's another smallie. Said right below the falls. A decent one here. Alright, that's enough, buddy. That little pig. Barely hooked. Well, here's the monster that I got today. Let's see what it catches. That's the big one. Straight away, fish. It's just a little guy. Get a lot of spunk in him. I was surprised I wasn't getting more of these guys up by the falls, but that's why I always try to get bigger crawfish. Ish. I knew there was one over here. Get out of there. Stay out of there. This guy's a little bigger. God. Gotcha. That's a big one. Look at that thing. That's like a 17, probably a 2.5 pounder. Nice fish. I get the release on this girl. Pretty. Alright guys, so I'm going to call it on that one. That was a really good fish. I like ending it on a high note. Hopefully you guys enjoy that too. That was a cool fish. That was another new one. So like no hook marks or nothing. Hasn't been down here before. But that's because I have a river that feeds right past this spillway. And the coolest thing is what they do is some of the fish will go upriver, so there's more fish upriver or downriver, whatever. But some of them stop in here and they stay here for a little while. Usually just to feed on those crayfish, I think. Like I said, those are my favorite bait down here, and you guys can see why. But I do get those guys on those spinners and those jerk baits. So like I said, I list everything below. You guys can do the same thing. You just find a spillway and throw some of those spinners and jerk baits. I would just highly suggest running at least a 12-pound leader at minimum, because you're going to get break-offs otherwise. Like if you're running 8-pound or 10-pound or something like that, you're going to break off a lot more often. I don't normally break off like I did today, but you know, it happens. Kind of redeemed myself, and I'm happy with that. So like I said before, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Obviously, if you're not new here, you know what's up. But if you are new,
can you please just remember to